Mine's a website.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
sealandingart.com?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no.
I don't know. I went to sealandingart.com and it gave
No,
me
it's landing art. Look, I've got it right there on the screen, Chad. Right? See?
You do? Let me see. Where? Landingart.com. Oh, I see. So if you go to landingart.com,
Right. And
you
I can't
get
get this thing straight. Oh, trash it. Mother. Because we're interesting. Oh, go to your Facebook.
go to my Facebook.
Yeah.
But if I go to my Facebook, you can find landing.com.
No, but you might want to put it as public.
No, I know. I just did.
Oh, okay. The Wizard is Weird Al.
The Wizard is Weird Al?
Yes, the Wizard is Weird Al. That makes sense.
Oh, are you talking about that Hamster and Gretel or whatever?
No, Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls. Gotcha.
They're rewatching Gravity Falls again. It's like an annual pilgrimage because there's a huge cult following behind Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
And Disney is playing into it. So you just had the big book that come out, the Book of Bill, which Bill is like I don't want to get too much into it because I
know
really
who
need.
Bill is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's like a god essentially, or
Well,
interdimensional thing.
Right. He's just the pyramid with the eye.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's just the whole Illuminati. He's all of it. I could do when I move my screen. There, see, I can do that.
It's weird.
It's weird, but
So anyway, have you noticed that there is all of a sudden in the past, I don't know, year, maybe 2 years, this obsession with goblins? Like Goblin Core has been coming out real freaking heavy lately. Of course we have
Core? Like Goblin Slayer.
I don't know if it's fucking Goblin Core, but I mean, you know how it is. If you want to make things cool, add core to the end of it, and it's a thing.
That's true. Yeah, like porn core.
Porn core, right? That's
yeah.
Well, I feel like porn core. I feel like porn has its hardcore, and it's really.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, that really is. But it is a thing. Goblin Core is on Wikipedia. Is an internet aesthetic and subculture inspired by the folklore of goblins, centered on the celebration of natural ecosystems, usually considered less beautiful by conventional norms such as soil. What the fuck? I did not realize it was going to be this thing.
Yeah, there's
Oh my gosh! It is a serious lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle?
It is a lifestyle. Okay. All right. Goblin Core, which I thought I made up, which just goes to show you can't make up shit anymore. Let's say the Goblin Core aesthetic is secondhand and thrifted clothing featured prominently in the fashion of Goblin Core, often emphasizing comfort and brown, green, and clashing colors. The aesthetic often features idealized imagery of natural creatures such as snakes, frogs, snails, and earthworms, animal skeletons, and rocks, plants and fungi like ferns, moss, and mushrooms. Journalist Sabrina Faramarzi, which don't hold me to saying if I said that name wrong, sorry, Miss Faramarzi, or they Faramarzi, or person Faramarzi, I don't want to assume your pronouns, has stated that the subculture is about chaos, dirt, and mud. Proponents of the subculture have also been noted to collect shiny objects, like a goblin, similarly to folklore goblins, such as silverware, small jewelry, and coins. The subculture has been described as connected to maximalism and escapism. Also, there's some alternative names, and I fucking dig these alternative names. Ready? Here we go. Crowcore. Fucking dig that.
That sounds good. I like that a lot more.
Dirtcore. All right. I feel that might be a little bit like
that's like a metal
Black
name.
Plague-ish.
Yeah, that's like a metal name or like a band name.
Right.
Dirtcore.
Dirtcore. Right. I'm totally there for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cottagecore.
That I already knew of. That's an entirely other thing, though. That's another.
I've never heard of cottagecore. I
It's
fucking love put core on the end of something, and I'm there,
it's
man. I'm
it's
there.
it's people who
Work
dress
core,
as like
totally all
Amish
work.
people.
They dress like Amish
It's
people.
like
The
farmers
Amishes
and
don't.
everything.
Amish people don't live in cottages though. They live in
No,
barns. We know this because they raise the barns on Sunday.
yeah, but it's like it's people who are like work like try to do like sustainability, like work from home, make your own food, that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, that sounds like
Yeah.
vegan core.
Yeah, but you
It's
can just kill your own animals, you know.
oh,
With
okay. So it's
cottagecore, yeah,
not vegan core.
yeah.
It's
Oh, and
very that's
feral core.
unvegan like feral core. Yeah.
That one's pretty sweet, actually. What are you? Oh, I'm feral core.
Very feral.
What does that mean? We'll start gnawing on the guy's arm.
But I'm okay to be. But to completely honest with you, I'm actually in a couple of goblin groups on Facebook.
So you are a goblin core.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. But although I do like brown and green, so maybe I'm like naturally goblin core, and I just didn't know it.
Oh,
can you be naturally goblin core? I don't know. I feel like you could be naturally feral core, but that could get you in jail. Why not? So
it could. Yeah, I mean that one could.
I'm looking for my lighter.
I like this cottage goth. That sounds cool.
Cottage goth.
It's like
wait. Is that? Oh, okay. I said it wrong. I said cottage core, and that's totally different than cottage goth.
Yes. Yeah, I looked at that again, and I'm like, oh yeah, cottage goth.
So cottage goth would be like, I don't know, you have a house made of candy and stuff, and you lure little kids that are lost in the woods, abandoned by their parents, right? That would be cottage core.
I mean,
it's cottage goth. I'm sorry, cottage core people. I don't mean to. You're not witches. Cottage goths are. Although, unless you identify as a warlock, and then I'm sorry.
Well, then you're going to that's jail. So,
that's because you're feral core. But
yeah, you're feral core. No, officer, I'm feral core. I'm allowed to touch these kids. Could you? All right.
Wait, we took that in a different way. No, feral core is not. You can't touch kids if you're feral core. You can touch kids if you're cottage core.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You got that totally wrong. Yeah,
yeah. I'm sorry. Duh. How could I forget which one's better with touching kids? Duh. God, somebody could soundbite that.
This is not going to end well. We're going to get pulled from somebody.
No.
No. They're going to kick us out of the States.
They're gonna. Nita's gonna be like, you guys got to go on the run now. I mean, I have nothing better to do, so sure, I'll go on the run.
I don't know. She's not here now. She's across country.
She's in New York,
in your area. She's in Jersey right now. And I have seen photographic proof, so she's there.
Oh, okay. I believe you.
Sure.
I do. She's knocking on my door. Get in the tub.
So how far is Michigan from New York?
A couple of hours, actually. 7 hours. Let me see. 12 hours.
12 hours. Jeez. I thought you guys were like right next to each other up there.
I mean 12 hours is
like Oregon, North Dakota, Michigan, New York. Y'all were like right next to each other. And then there's Maine.
No, Maine's on the other side. We're across from like Chicago, or we're over by Illinois and Indiana and Ohio.
Oh, those are boring states.
Well, I mean, we got Toronto, so we're a little bit cooler.
So you do admit that you're Canadian. See?
I don't. Well, maybe, eh?
Yeah.
But you said she's in New Jersey or New York?
No, she's in New Jersey now. She'll be in New York Sunday, I think.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. She visiting Daphne?
And I would not be giving her location had it not been some huge freaking city like, I don't know, like New York.
Oh, okay. Well, if it was like, yeah, she's in downtown Ann Arbor, I could probably find her in like 5 minutes. Nobody will be able to find me. Hey, Nita, what's up?
There's some freaking Sleepy Hollow, New York, or whatever. It's like there she is.
It's
Like, well,
interesting.
where's Waldo? Anyway,
There she is. It's interesting that you bring up Goblin Core because now that I think about it, no, I haven't seen like an uptick in goblin stuff.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Have you been on the internet? I'm just
I mean, yeah, sort of.
I'm not internet shaming you. I'm not, if you like to be out in the woods and everything, I understand. People have that kind of a kink. I'm not here to judge.
I mean, I do. Where do you think I go sometimes? Do you think I go to work? No.
That's why you have the green screen, because right now you're actually out in the middle of the woods.
It's true. It's true. If you hear the screams in the background, that's not me. Actually, it's more concerning if there's screams in the background. But
You know what? If there's something in the background and it's in the woods and you don't know what it is, the safest thing to do is to call it a skinwalker. Just call it a skinwalker, and it's pretty much covering all the bases.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and that's a new TikTok trend. Just call it a skinwalker, and you're good.
Skinwalker. Is that a skinwalker?
That's a skin. I'm pretty sure that's a crazy person. Nah, that's a skinwalker.
That's a skinwalker.
But I've seen an uptick in big titty goth girl stuff.
Really?
Yeah, like
That sounds like that might be your algorithm, buddy.
I mean, it is. Well, next to sexy clowns. So I mean, it's and sexy fish people. So I mean, I got a huge line of big booby stuff. But I've noticed that but I haven't ran into the goblin stuff, and now I feel like I'm kind of missing out.
Okay, but you have, haven't you?
I've noticed an uptick in popularity in goblins.
Well, that's my point. That's my whole thing is like goblins are like the new vampire, right? Because there are goblin groups on Facebook, right? And they post a lot of dirty memes about doing things to goblins. And if you watch Goblin Slayer, you thought that only goblins did those type of things to you. But apparently there's another side that wants to do those type of things to goblins.
Wasn't there a character in Goblin Slayer that wants to be taken advantage of by goblins?
I know I haven't watched Goblin Slayer. I've always been warned against Goblin Slayer. But it always seemed like Goblin Slayer had a mild scene in it about certain things that we can't talk about live.
It does. It has a lot of different things.
Yeah,
mild is putting it. The manga is a little more graphic because, of course, it is. But Goblin Slayer, it's good in the beginning because it's about a guy who only focuses on slaying goblins, and
hence the name.
Yeah, hence the name, and he is saying. These are the most dangerous creatures, and you don't understand, and nobody believes him. However, though, that's its one note the entire time. So it loses it just loses its entire momentum very quickly with it. Because you're like, okay, well, he kind of needs to round himself out a bit. It's not like One Punch Man where you have King who is covering for Saitama or who just happens to be there. There's all these quirky characters and he gets into these zany things.
Right.
It's just this guy going, goblins.
Hey, look, real quick, Ray, oot and a boot with the little one. So just say it hi.
Hello, Ray.
Hey, and then there's Martha's. Hi, how y'all doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Martha's. But, okay, now it's interesting you brought up Saitama
and
anime. Well, of course, you brought up Saitama, so I mean, Saitama, who was One Punch Man, right? Okay, so have you read One Punch Man?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to talk to you about it then.
Why?
Well, because now you know where Saitama got his powers from.
Oh, did they reveal that?
I don't. Oh, that's what I heard. So you're not up to date on it.
Well, it depends. Is this a new reveal or is this in the beginning?
No, this is not the beginning. Because in the beginning, you just have he just exercised.
Yes. Okay. So they revealed how he got his powers.
Or from what I understand.
Okay.
That's what I've heard. I don't know. I can't confirm it. Well, so on that ground, okay, so when you hear Saitama got powers, One Punch Man, he punches something, it's over with, right? Uh it's always, oh, I exercise. Don't look it up, Chad. Be surprised when it happens. Jeez.
What?
Now there's this awkward silence because you're reading this.
No, there's still theories. They
Oh,
haven't
okay.
they haven't officially revealed it.
Okay, well then let's say that. Do you want to know if he got it in a special way?
No.
Are you happy? I'm happy with the way of him. Just he exercised a lot, therefore he has it.
Yes.
That's it.
I am 100% okay with not knowing how he got them.
You don't want to know, like, is he a monster? I'm not even. I don't care. I'm not speculating on whether or not he's a monster. I don't give a damn.
He's a monster.
I'm like, I'm totally cool with him just being a guy who exercised a lot, and now when he punches somebody, he wins.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now,
Like, it's similar to Mashal. Like,
yeah,
he never learns magic ever. He's just a guy who defeats magic people with his fists. And that's it. Like, there's no, like, he unlocks this magic. Goes, oh, he's been using magic all along. No, he just worked himself to death, and now he can punch people. He can punch time itself, and it'll break. So it's
right,
just, and that's the hilarity of it.
right. That's what
Yeah.
I like about it. I don't need. I think there's just this thing that came up. I'm going to put it in the 90s.
Okay.
What happened with like movies and things like that, like to make it more realistic, and I think that really ruined a lot of things. It's because it almost destroyed your ability to suspend belief.
You think so?
To an extent, yeah, to an extent. I mean, India has not had that problem, and they are kicking ass with some of the visual shit.
Bollywood videos?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about that trailer that I posted. Was that an Indian? No, that was. I think that was.
When did you post it?
It was on Facebook. Or with the
Well, I
gun.
didn't say.
You're just speaking
Where?
in general.
When? Yeah. When did you post it?
A couple of days ago. I think it's when we were talking about who killed Captain Alex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which
Hey,
was
I mean, but
Uganda.
even with that one, okay. Let me see. What the hell? You know, sometimes you show up and sometimes you don't.
It's the algorithm. Sometimes you show up, sometimes you don't. In fact, there's now a new thing where it reminds you of people who you haven't seen from. Well, if you would show them.
Yeah, right. It's like, okay, I'm going to follow this person. And Facebook's like, fuck you. No, you're not.
You're never going to see that man again.
Never.
Like, never going to see that
I
man.
feel like Twitter does the same thing. Twitter and Threads both do the same freaking thing.
Yep.
Like, you'll follow somebody and you'll never see them again.
Yep.
They're lost in the annals of it. I don't see it.
It's fine. I can find it and then we can play it. But I don't know if it's a Bollywood one. But anyway, you're right. They are kicking ass.
Right. Because they're able to, okay. Why do you think Guardians of the Galaxy was so well received?
Because it was campy and energetic and fun, and the
Right,
visuals were very playful.
Right, and it wasn't trying to make you feel like you were able to suspend belief on, okay, some of this is just stupid, a raccoon that talks, a tree that moves, whatever the case is, but you're in a world where you can suspend those kind of beliefs, and you're like, okay, I could buy this. I mean, after all, there's a guy. Well, actually, I kind of feel like the Avengers are kind of playing, actually. So
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, they really kind of are, right? There's only, let's face it, if it wasn't for Robert Downey Jr., the Avengers wouldn't be where they're at today. And I know that killed a lot of a lot of comic book guys out there are like, what are you talking about, man?
Well,
but it's true, though. I mean, Avengers were never the Justice League.
They're not?
No, they were never super friends. They were never like, they didn't have okay, let's be honest. They did not have the thematics of the Justice League folks. They never did. Superman's got the Boy Scout thing. Wonder Woman's got the the goddess thing happening for her. And you say, okay, you have Thor, which I wish they would have kept Thor the way that it was when it first started, where basically if you had Thor's hammer, you turned into Thor, right? I like that actually better than it's just Thor, and magic is science that you just don't understand. But and Iron Man is basically like a heavy metal version of Batman, right?
Right.
So, but Batman has those thematics. It's just Iron Man. What does it mean? Well, his suit's made out of iron. That's fucking boring. But this guy dresses like a bat. Oh, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just didn't have Captain America. Okay, he's got wings on his head. What is it? Don't get me wrong. I love Cap.
Sure.
All right. I love Cap.
I love me
Donny
some Thor.
Cates. I wouldn't say that, but Donny Cates made me like Thor.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
although I did like it because when Thor started, if you had his hammer, you turned into Thor. So
yeah, that's why I
liked
that's why I liked Jane Foster's Thor.
But let's be honest.
She got the hammer.
Right. Well, let's be honest. Okay, but that makes more sense if you had kept it the way it was. I don't know when it changed to where Thor was just Thor, just flat out Thor, and not Dr. whatever Thor's name was.
Donald Blake.
Right. Because they did that in the movie. See the nod with the fake ID? Yeah. Ooh,
it's all coming together. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, but you are right though. When I'm more interested in now that you're saying it out loud and you're breaking that down, I am more interested in the Justice League because I feel like their characters are more appealing to look at and a little bit more vibrant and out there. Like you have a man dressed as a bat standing next to a god. But when you have all the Avengers standing next to each other, they all just kind of look the same.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's an opera. Think of it. Okay, when you look at the costumes of the Justice League or Super Friends or whatever, they have an operatic feel to them. You got Is that Martha? See, Martha knows what.
Yeah,
but that absolutely. Blade Runner, Total Recall, 80s Conan. There's this mysticism. That's what escapism is. That's what I like.
Right.
And that's the thing about and you can even apply that to Batman, Superman, and everything like that. You go, okay, Iron Man. You could see a guy. In fact, we've even had where they're doing that type of thing in the military, right? So that's not far-fetched.
Yeah, but it's not interesting.
But it's not that interesting, right? What I actually thought was interesting when I first discovered Iron Man, I thought Tony Stark was in a wheelchair, and the machine. Well, I did. And
no,
it was. He was at one point in time, but that wasn't like the presence.
I was thinking of something different in wheelchairs, but continue. Oh, it'll come to you, but you just can't say it out loud. Continue.
But I.
In a world where people can talk about things, and there are people who have a lot to say about the things they are talking about. When there is nothing else to say, these people will talk about stuff with the confidence in knowing what they are saying. When they have things to say, they will start talking about the thing they need to talk about. This is the show that you don't want to miss when there are things to be discussed.
But there's more operating feel to
I liked at the time. Oh my god, we completely forgot to do it. Anyway.
So I mean, you have Wonder Woman with the crown and everything. It's just it has more theatrics to it. I think that's why it's more appealing than the Avengers were. Because you can say, okay, like for instance, okay, who's the biggest? This is not a trick question. Who is the biggest Marvel superhero?
Spider-Man.
There you go. Exactly. And what about Spider-Man? He He's not a flyer. He flings through the he slings through the city
The
and
air,
everything,
yeah.
swings, and he has a certain look about him because Steve Ditko designed him with a certain look.
Mhm.
And so there's some theatrics to Spider-Man. But when you look at Thor, like, oh, well, the reason why Thor can fly is because he does his hammer like this and he can fly. And it's like, okay, that's cool and all, but you're trying to really get that across on freaking paper.
Right.
It doesn't really play well into it. Oh, well, I was thinking of the physics of it, and how, he didn't just shoot away like Superman. Okay, that's great, Stan. But
But it doesn't. Now, granted, though, it is cool to see on screen. So
yeah,
it
I'll
is,
give
it
you
is
that.
a nice
Give you that.
thing to look
I
at.
don't mind live action Thor, really.
No.
But
See, that's here. It's funny you bring. It's kind of interesting that we're talking about this because the show Kite Man on HBO Max,
Kite
on Max,
Man,
Kite Man,
Man, yes,
Kite Man, yeah.
yes. Make sure you pronounce that correctly.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kite Man. Hell yeah, is it's on Max. It's a spinoff from the Harley Quinn show, and it's way more appealing than any of the cartoon stuff that Marvel has been releasing, which I can't think of anything at the night except X-Men 97. Because it's so
Right.
bright and colorful, and they have the weird characters. They have Six Pack, who just hangs out in the bar. And you remember, if anybody wants new and original stuff, go look at the shelves where nobody's reading. Like, go to those. You'll find stuff. I promise. Marvel and
Yeah, but what
DC
if
do
it's not
original
any
stuff all the
good?
time. It doesn't matter.
What
It's
if
still
not
new
any
and
good?
you want new and original stuff, go to the comic shop and find it. It's not that hard to find that from Marvel and DC. But I
But let me
digress.
put it this. Okay, I want to come back to that, but go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish your point. I thought this was a show about stuff.
Crap. You're right. We're talking about things. We got to switch.
No,
back
but
to
I
stuff.
want to go back to that. I want to go back to what you just said in
Okay.
just a minute. But finish your point.
My point is that when people always say, "Oh, Marvel and DC never go with new and original stuff," that's 100% wrong. They do make new stuff. They do make other things besides Batman, Superman, and all those, and Spider-Man. You just don't go to the shelves to find it because you don't read the books. And along with that, too, in news articles like these CBR and all these are not going to report on them because they don't have either big name publisher, don't have either big names on them, or they're not part of a tie-in. And then again, and also my other point is, you don't go and you don't find them. Now, I do. Did you know Fire and Ice just released a miniseries? Booster Gold and Blue Beetle did? No. Nobody did.
But
I'm not
here's the
talking
thing.
about you. I'm just saying.
No. But here's the thing. Which give it time because Booster Gold will make its Booster Gold's been floundered. He's got a cult following anyway.
He does. I'm just giving an example.
But okay, but let me explain this too on this nature. Okay, so the question comes in: how is it not different name, same story?
Oh, you mean like it's
like
the
okay,
same...
okay. Here's a superhero. Now this superhero is indigenous, but they've got the same type of backstory as say the Hulk. They're not the Hulk. I'm not talking about like totally awesome Hulk or anything like that, but they have the same type of backstory. So what I'm saying is, when we say that yes, they're putting out new characters, which they are, and this is true if you go and search them, but are they just superhero related characters?
It depends on who you're looking at. Because you have these two weren't ones that were never released, but Snowflake and Safe Space.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Listen, I know, but just shut up for a minute, okay?
I haven't said anything. I'm just
I know, but I'm just bringing them up. Or Amulet, or Crescent. Like, these characters are or Guillotine. Like, there are these characters. Now, granted,
Right.
Marvel doesn't push them unless, and this does go to your point, though, unless they do have the same origin story as a similar character.
See, the thing is, if they
And
were,
I hate you for bringing that full circle to me. Screw you.
well, okay, but here's the thing. Okay, so here's what they would have to willingly sacrifice to do in order to bring
Integrity.
up new characters. See, the question isn't about, okay, everybody wants to identify the problem as
Right.
there. Why don't you just create new characters? Okay, as you suggest, if you said they have created new characters, but here's the problem: new characters are what? They're outshined by
The bigger ones,
the
yeah.
legacy characters, right? So if they want to actually do something with the new characters, and we've already talked about this before, and I don't want to, get to the point where it takes 30 years sometimes for a new character to catch.
Right, yes.
But if they really, really wanted to do something, and they would have to be brave, and they really wanted to bring a character out, it's time to cancel some books.
Yeah.
It's time to get rid of 14 of the 15 fucking Batmans. It's time to let's kill some of the Bat family. Let's get them out of here.
Kill some of the Spider-Verse.
Kill some of the Spider-Verse. You really have to do it.
Kill the Venom titles now, too. There's like 5 of them.
Is there really? See, I
Yeah.
haven't kept up with
Oh
it.
my god. I dropped
And look, the
Venom.
movies aren't that good. I got news for you. That's not Venom.
No, but they're
Those movies were
beautiful.
never Venom.
No.
What pisses me
Those
me
movies are
off.
beautiful, though.
No, fuck you. The fact is,
I love those movies. So
Really? Why?
Oh, I do because they're a dumpster fire.
Oh, okay.
They're an early. They are a love
fine.
letter to early 2000s Marvel
buddy cop
movies.
No,
Yeah,
buddy
no,
cop,
no,
they're buddy
Marvel
cop movies.
Marvel movies and buddy cop. Sure, I'll give you the buddy cop.
Okay.
But that's a good point too. But they are a dumpster fire,
But here's the deal.
and they're hilarious to sit and watch. Also, and I've said this before, the Carnage one, Let There Be Carnage, is like 6 different movies put into one.
Well, I could make it through the first movie, which was about 20 minutes.
What?
That's I couldn't make it through the first movie of that, which was about what 20 minutes. So,
Oh, okay.
But no, seriously, like, yeah, I think loner characters are weird when they have 20 something. Yeah, the fact that
That's a good point.
Batman lost his family. That's the whole reason why. So he has the Bat family. Let's fucking end it now.
But
they're not gonna do
I
that.
lost my family, except my family.
Because I've got here's the news for you is the fact that the comic, and I don't want to fucking get into sounding like a certain skating group and complain about this because I could care less about these bigger names, to be completely honest with you.
Sure.
But if they ever wanted to actually bring new characters out, we have seen this. They just did it with What If, with the indigenous character, and now she's coming out, whatever. So there is a possible way for them to bring new characters out. Now they'll throw a new character out there. For instance, Humberto Ramos created a new character. I can't remember her name, but she showed up in Champions, which she was a character that was based on the Mexican TV guy with that looks like the bug. Simpsons always kind of made fun of him. I can't remember what it was, but he looks like a bug. Anyway.
Fuck. Isn't his name just Bug? Anyway.
No, I can't remember. El Chapo, maybe? No, that's not. I think that's a drug dealer.
Was it Red Knife? No, that wasn't. No, not him.
No.
Not White Tiger. That's a different guy.
Anyway. So you had this character, and it was a really good looking character. A good looking character design or whatever. El Chavo.
Oh, I remember seeing her in Path. Oh, Red Locust?
Is that her name? That might be her name.
Champions number 9.
Yep.
By Humberto Ramos. Red Locust.
Right. So you had this character that came out. So
I like that
all
design.
right.
That's pretty neat.
It is. It's a good design. It's based on El Chavo, the Mexican superhero. You know what I'm talking about, right? You've never
Yeah.
seen the Mexican? Yeah, okay, with the it was live action. So, but they didn't really do anything to bring that character out anymore. Have you seen that character anywhere else?
Red Locust?
Yeah,
Just what you just told me about.
exactly. Isn't that a shame?
It is. Then that's true, and that's
But-
why when Guillotine was there in Champions, so they're not
See,
in
I don't
Champions.
even remember who that is.
Contest of Champions.
Oh, okay, good, because I read Champions and I don't remember Guillotine.
Okay, no, it's Guillotine was in Contest of Champions, and what she was is she was a woman with a vampiric sword, and in order for her to maintain her sanity, she had to kill people and let it drink their blood. So she used it to kill bad people. And that's essentially what she was. And it was really cool. And she appeared once in the Contest of Champions. And when I mean once, I only mean like one issue. And then she disappeared. And I was like, oh.
Oh, well, that does but see, that does actually sounds cool.
Right.
And now we're not going to use that because we're afraid that's not going to really sell.
Right.
So.
And then you gave up on Squirrel Girl with that New Warriors TV show, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with. I guess it was. I don't know what happened with that. But do you know how a lot of these comics ended up catching on early on?
Nope. Everybody had people.
No, Marvel was fucking mafia. Marvel was a mafia, and what they would do, especially to the newsstands and to the comic book shop, which is the Death of Comics, is basically they would say, look, you want the new Spider-Man? That's what sells. But in order for you to get the new Spider-Man, you got to order 15 copies of Thor, the Mighty Thor. Well, I don't want the Mighty Thor. It doesn't really sell. Yeah, but if you want Spider-Man, you have to order these. So they were freaking pushing comics like that. I don't think they can do that anymore. But they were pushing it out like that.
No, they do that with variant covers now.
Oh, golly, you're right. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a freaking bullying thing.
Yeah. You want this variant cover, you got to order 100 copies of Venom. But you just want that.
No writers had any idea what to do with her.
Well, Marvel.
That's all
yeah, you could have did like an entire like Legion of Monsters with her. Like she would have been great with vampires. Like put her up against Dracula. Go ham with her.
Oh, right.
So there you go.
So did we talk about? I watched CB Selesky, the editor of Marvel.
Yeah.
Giving you tips, and I don't know why I was watching it because I really don't give a damn, but tips on how to present your portfolio to Marvel. Which one thing he didn't tell you.
One panel break per book. I got it.
Per book.
I know.
Yeah. You saw that?
No, you told me about it, and I
told you about this.
I hold that to Jason Doobie every time he's looking at Barking the Wall.
No, but see, here's the thing. Okay, but that's it. Like, but one thing, he'll sit there and he'll tell you what to look for in a portfolio. You're like, all right, this is what I got to do to get into Marvel. Fuck you. They're not looking at Americans anymore.
No.
Lost too much money. That's one thing that Sobolewski's not fucking telling you. Marvel's not. You don't call Marvel. Marvel calls you. That's how that works. That's how that works. And guess what? Because you're an American, they're not going to get you. But you know what? That's fine. Because God bless all those other people who are out there in the world getting their own. That is not an indictment for that. If they want to do it, that's fine. But here's what I'm saying. Do not hold yourself to the standards of the Marvel portfolio. It is steeped in a tradition that finally needs to be fucking broken. You listen to some of those guys talk about how they were oppressed when they were at fucking Marvel drawing and everything else like that. One, you couldn't draw in your own style. You had to figure. You either had you had to conform to a certain style. You didn't do the panel if you did a panel break too many times, or if you did a panel that they didn't like in a certain way, or you didn't have enough space in the panels and stuff like that. Guess what? We've fucking evolved. And if you want to sit there and act like Marvel is the standard for fucking comics, go pick up a Marvel comic. They're not that great anymore. They are still riding on the fucking... They're still riding on the guys in the 90s Humberto Ramos, Chris Pachalo, let's see, Mark Bagley. Who else is out there? Mark Brooks, so on and so that were innovating stuff and everything else like that when they left Marvel to do independent stuff. So why? Because they're just steeped in this tradition. You talk to anybody who worked with Jim Shooter, and I was talking about this the other day on Indie Comics. He was a pain in the ass to work with, from what I hear. Jim Shooter.
Oh, okay, that doesn't surprise me.
Very authoritarian, and that's coming from someone else. I have no idea. I don't know Jim, so let me make that very clear. But that's what I've heard. That Jim Shooter was very authoritarian. He was very I hate to say fascist, and but only in the sense of
comics.
Of the comics, right? Not fascist as in,
and not like towards people or anything.
Right? No, that's not how I mean that at all. It's just for lack of a better word.
No, I know, or everybody should know what you mean,
right? And that's the thing is, you're going to continue this way, and you need to break out of it. Certain things, as well as I do, certain comics. Now, there's still rules that you need to follow, just because.
Sure.
But we had this talk about webtoons. You're asking if readers are reading it and they're enjoying it and they can follow the story and they don't need those rules and everything. It's time to look at it a different way. And maybe, just maybe, your books are stagnating because you're oppressing the new people coming in that could bring you fresh blood.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why Webtoons is working out, is because most of the time the stories are easy to follow. The art might not be that great, but the stories themselves are incredibly coherent. And yes, when you go to webtoons.com, and I've said this before, you can kind of see a theme going. But lately, there's been quite a few interesting ones that have popped up. Vampire Family has a really cool art style. These Keith Sisters, which is about like an Addams Family romance. Where it's about bunch of, it's like a bunch of weird, like Addams Family. It's like 5 sisters, and one of them is obsessed with romantic comedies, while everybody else is like goth, like super goth. And she goes out and she touches this one guy's hand, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's true love. It's just like in all the romances I read." So she like enrolls in school and it's really funny, and it's so easy to follow. And I do agree with you on that, is that, I mean, Webtoons and a lot of these places are trying to evolve and go against the grain, and it's working. Like, it is working. You know what?
I'm going to tell you what. Okay, here's the deal. Ready? The new thing out there, the new thing is genuineness. We need in our society, not just comic books and everything, a genuineness from people, because we've got too much fake shit out of Hollywood for too fucking long. And a lot of people are tired of it. That's why you got TikTok and YouTubers blowing up that are just going and talking and telling their feelings on fucking camera. That's why you have people who just wanted to tell a story and not be confined by certain things to go out and just tell the story that they want to. And they don't have to hear, "Oh, well, we don't know how to market that, so we're not going to take it."
You know, it's really funny you bring that up. And one of the more popular ones, I don't mean to toot it, but I was actually working on a book like this. It's a book on Webtoons called Don't Read This. And it's an interactive comic about this anxiety and depression. It's just about this little guy going around and just saying, "I'm doing this, I'm doing that," and just talking. And it's blowing up because it's genuine, it's cute, and it's relaxing.
Let me put it this one word: Bluey.
I love Bluey.
Yeah, Bluey is a comfort. Yeah, that's why Kurt hated working for Marvel. Exactly. Look, Bluey is a comfort for a lot of people who are older, especially in your age demographic. I see a lot of Bluey fans from your age demographic.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, they make adult shirts for Bluey.
Yeah, I've watched Bluey. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a Bluey fan, per se, but I understand it because Bluey's not trying to talk down to children. It's not. It's just being. It's being open and it's being honest and it's being genuine. And that's the thing. I feel like Randy doing this. Like ever see Randy when Randy gets
I
going?
have,
Randy's
yes,
intervention.
I have.
It's like,
When he
that's
gets on
why
his
it's
soapbox.
failed. And I mean, I should have a bell. God bless you, Randy. God bless you. If you don't, Randy Zimmerman, folks, right there on Indie Comics Network. Tomorrow, Comics by Night, and then Sunday, Funnies with Randy. So check that out. But anyway, but no, there's a genuineness to it, and that's what people are looking for. And and in this world of pronouns and gender fluidity and people just trying to make sense of themselves, much less the world, or much more the world, that's what people need is people who are going to be honest with who they are, with you, and to be open. And I hate to be an asshole to say that kind of thing. Maybe I am. I don't know. But I'm being honest. That's what I see. And unless you have that genuineness, forget it. If you are trying to make something just to make money out of it, you're probably going to fail. It does happen. People do get by that way. But if that's how you're going to approach any type, especially any type of art, it's not. This is why you have webtoon books and they go on Kickstarter. You could get it for free. You could go and read it for freaking free. But yet they're hitting $50,000 to $150,000 on Kickstarter when they put what they have free, which you can go read right now free online for people to buy.
Yep. And then when those people release it, and I think you just said that when they release it on the Kickstarter, and now it's in like print, people go buy it.
People go buy it. Look at
Also,
War Olympus is in freaking Walmart right now.
Yeah. Oh my God. And that's awesome. It took me a bit to get used to that art style, but the story is really freaking good. Also,
Yeah.
I wanted to do this.
I agree.
Well, and I'm not trying to be on a soapbox. I'm really not.
No, you are. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. I see. But that's the issue. Don't the issue. Anyway, don't try to.
That's the comic issue.
It's a dad joke. But that's it. It's like we're living in a world where people are affected by something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Autism, ADHD, your fucking sucky neighbor, whatever you're affected by, and we have
like
to.
That's based on experience.
Well, no, I don't have one actually, but I'm just saying in general, I have people that have, oppressed me for 18 fucking years, and I finally got to tell them about it. I thought about them, but that's not the point. The issue comes in is we need people to connect to. We need stories to connect to. And if we worry about whether or not the panel breaks are wide enough and uniformed enough, we're going to miss the forest for the trees.
Right. Yeah. We're going to miss a good story by focusing on the rules.
Right.
Or what the rules that you've set for yourself.
Right. And there are guidelines to follow. And absolutely, man. But let's not, a panel break per page or per book. Really, they don't like you breaking the panels. They do not like you breaking the panels at all.
Yeah, but it's cool.
It is cool. It's like, it breaks up the flow of it. Well, that's because then guess what? Maybe the problem is you have a linear flow and you need to open and expand yourself a little more.
But wait, does it break up the flow? Because I can still follow the fucking book.
That's the thing. I don't think it does. But it's also depending on how you do it. But you can also have panel breaks that are the same size, and you can position the panels and still be confusing on how you do so. How to actually read it.
I mean, yeah, but that's the artist that needs to work on that.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's just a issue.
But just having the right size panel breaks are not. One of them was too. Don't always have white panels. Have white. Always have white borders. Like having blackout borders is a turn off, and it's a pet peeve.
That's weird
That's
because
what.
Marvel does that all the time now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's right. Exactly. You fucking hypocrites. Here's the deal. And I'm never going to work for Marvel, and I'm fine with that. So I don't have any problem telling you about Marvel, DC, or Image. But the thing is this.
As I announce my Marvel contract.
Good for you. Good for you. If you get it, look. Even if they ever come to, it's a job. It's not a goal. That's how
Sure.
you look at it.
Right.
That's how you
Exactly.
look at it. But here's the deal. They reference, oh well, yeah, they did it in the 90s, like independent books or whatever, but you want to keep it, you basically want to keep it boring. And that's fine. Break out of your tradition, man. Break out of it. And that's, oh well, this is how the portfolio looks and this is how you judge it. Instead of judging it by, okay, you open it up and you look at it, you like it, but it's not the standard. Well, it's got to be rejected because this is not the standard. No, that's not the fucking point. Did you like it? And now, okay, I understand. Now you liked it, but now you got to make sure, is it readable? Is it readable? It's readable, but it's not in the way that you think it should, or the traditional way of teaching you is readable. But is it readable? Sure.
Right.
Will other people understand it? Absolutely. But it's not in the fuck the traditional way. Does it work? Do you like it? Is it readable? Put it out. And that's just, it pissed me off listening to that, because it's like, okay, and this is on Proco, and I like Proco. Proco, if you don't know, because you're a writer, Proco teaches a lot of art stuff, like how to draw or everything else. And they have a lot of the Marvel artists come on there and show you techniques and everything else, and which is where Sobletsky or CB or whatever his name is, JD's friend, came on there and to tell you how you want to set up your portfolio. Here's how you set up a portfolio if you really are that worried about it. 5 pages of sequential art, 1 pinup. Make sure that, and that should be a standard. That's what I'm talking about when you have rules. 5 pages of sequential art, because there's a reason for that. The 5 pages of sequential art are going to let people know that you know how to tell a story.
Right, exactly.
The 1 pinup is going to show that you know how to do a cover or bigger. Or 2 pinups, if so. Either way it goes. Point being is, that makes sense. But to say, oh, I'm going to put a ruler on these freaking panels to make sure that they're actually the same width apart before I say if it's good or not. It doesn't. And I don't think he's going, and in all fairness, I don't think he's going that far, but still.
What we mean by that, just to let you know, is that you should be able to get to your point in a story by like 5 pages in a comic book.
Right.
So, which is one of the problems with webtoons, but I also digress. That's a whole other topic we could get into, because there's some where they're like, yeah, chapter 36. Okay, but we haven't made any progress with like any of these characters, like at all. Or sometimes, like sometimes it's painful. Some of those books in fact, we could do that all day, where I could be like, there's a lot of problems, but there's also a lot of good ones as well. You can read my Substack, where I will tell you about different webtoons that I'm currently reading that are pretty good.
And I would have had a banner, except I fucked it up.
That's fine. It's C Lanning Art is .com.
No.
Or Lanning Art?
Lanning Art.
Lanning Art.
So hard. It's just
LanningArt.com is yours, and you can look at his stuff, which you could see the cover of Set the Hook #1.
Did I put it
on the front page? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, did I? Okay, I thought I did update some stuff over there.
You can also look at my Substack at rollingsquidbones.substack.com, and you can take a look at that, where I do beer reviews and also comic reviews and other stuff. Anyway, but we're not here to actually support that. We're here to listen to C for 45 minutes be on his soapbox, and it was great because I learned a lot. So I'm just teasing you, dude. I don't care. I genuinely
don't know. I just,
I'm good with listening.
This is not really what this show's about.
No, but you're not wrong. But here's the thing, though. Like, some of that stuff has to be said, though. And it does drive me nuts when there are people who say, I want to be Marvel. I want to be Image. I want to be DC. It's like, but do you? Like, do you? Because truthfully, I want to be like Valiant and Zenscope. Like, I want my own self-contained universe where I can hire people in and they write those stories in that universe. And then that
Yeah.
way, when you reboot something, it's easier to follow.
You know
And
what
that's
I
what I
want?
thought. That's why I actually think Valiant, if anybody, I know they're going downhill after Dinesh, but that's again an entirely different story. Was really good at that
Yeah.
because you could jump into Dysart. Did he do? Was it Dysart's Bloodshot or did he do Ninjask? Anyway, Ninja K or whatever.
You could say a name and I would just say yeah.
Okay, fire. And then Jeff Lemire started Bloodshot. But I could
Oh, I didn't know
follow
that.
them. Yeah, even though it started with a number 1, it wasn't like it was a continuation, but it was still you were able to follow it.
Right.
And that's what made it really work. Instead of just restarting everything. So
Right.
plus sometimes they would just continue the volumes. So it'd be like, yeah, Bloodshot number 1, but this is Jeff Lemire's story. But it's actually volume 6. Kind of like the old Marvel Max stuff. Because they used to do that.
Oh,
And
okay.
they used to switch artists and writers around. So,
That makes
and
sense.
now they don't really do that anymore. And it's kind of a bummer. And that's why I don't read Valiant anymore.
You know what?
Jeff
I would
Lemire's
like
Bloodshot
to-
is very good, though. Anyway, continue.
What I would like to see of something that I created is fan art and fan stories. Not even high. Yeah,
I read Bloodshot. That was my point. Anyway.
but I feel like that would be the biggest compliment is people putting out fan art, even if it's like mixed with something else, or even if you want to ship 2 characters, I don't care. And fan fiction, to me, that means more than having somebody come in and write it, because I can hire a writer to come in and write it, and they might. He apologizes. They might.
Apology accepted, maybe.
They might care about what they're writing, but at least with the fan art or the fan fiction, they actually care. They actually have taken the time to do something for free, and to me, that's the kind of stuff. I think what kept Star Wars in its zeitgeist for so long was because, and while these weren't fan fictions per se, like we see today, and people were writing these things and they were having published, is because Lucas opened that playground up.
Yeah, it was like an open source storytelling.
Right. And he asked anybody to come and play in the sand.
Yeah.
There's only a couple rules, one of them being don't touch Yoda or Yoda's kind, and you're good. And that was what kept that going.
Yeah.
For so freaking long. And you can go, oh, well, you had a cartoon here or but that's because
yeah, and that's going to happen.
Yeah, but that fandom was there because you let it breathe, as opposed to somebody trying to shut fan art down or trying to shut fan fiction stuff down. It kills me when I hear that, because it's like, you do realize that this is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think J.K. Rowling tried to do that with Harry Potter. Try to shut some of the fan fiction stuff down.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody was making money off of it. God forbid. Nobody was making money off of it, but there's like fan fiction sites for Harry Potter. And sure, it gets a little racy sometimes. But the thing is that it was keeping a fandom alive and you let it breathe. But when you continue to be iron-fisted about it, it becomes a problem.
And you know what's really funny? Oh, no, go on.
Well, no, speaking of, that's the real reason Acolyte was canceled. They put Yoda in the end. Big mistake. But people have, the fandom can also become very iron-fisted and smother it as well.
You know what's really funny? You bring that up, and I hate saying this, but you know who has like the healthiest fandom when you bring that point up? Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Chris Chan, right? We're just
no, God, no. Let's get that right out the board. We're not talking about that. No, let's accept that guy. Person,
not Chris Chan.
Except that the other people, the ones that send me Sonic feet pictures, but which really happened. But anyway, I wasn't really sure what he wanted, but there's tons of fan fictions, tons of original created characters, and Sega doesn't give a shit because they know that fan base is going to continue creating by the games and keep celebrating Sonic.
Right.
They
They're
don't
not going to go out. They're not going to try to go out and shut it down because they realize this is free advertising. Shut
right.
up.
Exactly. Like it's if Nintendo learned too, and I love Nintendo. Like I love their like the stuff that they create. They're one of my favorite companies, but
Yeah.
they shut down a lot of these fan projects. Like there was this love letter with Zelda Ocarina of Time recreated. They were making it in Unreal Engine. And I understand like okay, well that's just, they could play that for free. Well, this don't just shut that down. Ask this guy. Like be like, hey, we'll give you $1 million or whatever. We'll buy that. We'll reconstruct it or help us create it. Like you got these people who are really dedicated to that fan base, and you need to let them grow. Is what I'm saying.
And if you go to them, willing to hire them or adapt whatever they're working on, I promise you, they will. They'll jump aboard. They want you to. They want you to come to
100%.
them and ask
Yeah.
them that. They want you to be like, hey, this is really good. Do you want to come write for me? They're on board. Hey, do you want to come create a game for me? They're
Hell
on board.
yeah.
And
You know
now this is what happens is now you're continuing a legacy from people who loved it. And now they can put what they loved into the new game and you release it. Now you have more stuff to release. Now you have more things to do.
And then more people, and again, we're both going to get on these soapboxes. Oh, Captain, my Captain. We're going to both get on this and say, then after that, those people who are creating for the love of the characters will find more people that love it, and it becomes like this nice trickle down, for lack of better words. Lord Kana recently did this too. John Westhoff and I try to play an occasional Wednesday here and there. We try to do live streaming Lord Kana matches. Ravensburg, the company, and Disney shut down a fan-made free online dueling program where it would load all the cards in, you would build your decks, and then you could play people online. And instead of actually hiring that person, they sent a cease and desist and shut it down. But it was huge. Like there were people who could test out decks. There were people who were like didn't have a lot of money, but they could still play. People could trade different tactics. You could watch different like live matches. You could also record your matches to see what you did. Like there was a lot of different like things to this program. And then Disney and Ravensburg were like, no. And I'm pretty sure it was mostly Disney. I don't think Ravensburg, who did the printing of the cards, really, I don't really think they had anything to it. Yeah, I don't think they did. In fact, I'm pretty sure they were all for it because they're a gaming company. They get it.
Right.
But damn, it was cool. And you know what makes me mad is I got into it right after they shut it down. And I was like, fuck. Anyway.
It's like they don't want to understand it. Well, that goes back to the whole traditional thing that we were talking about. You worry about so much about the rules and everything, you're going to smother it. It's going to die. What I liked about the old comics was the thought bubbles and being able to depict motion, not just write the words sweeping kick or whatever.
It depends on how you do that. Sometimes that's fun, though, when they're like sweeping kick or like the Jackie Chan Adventures guy who was like crouching tiger, hidden snake or whatever.
Well, no, but I think I understand what Martha's saying because now thought balloons are thought to be passé, right? You don't do thought balloons, you do the narrative or whatever the case is on it. But that's the thing about books, right? Is you were able to open it. I think we have a tendency to want to make a comic book a movie. But
see, that's weird because I want to make a movie into a comic book. Like that's how I think when I'm writing.
Right. Well, no, I'm not. But see, I don't mean like literally. Like I'm thinking when you write a comic, you're thinking of it on a movie level. That's what I mean. Like, okay, because when you read a book, you can hear somebody's inner thoughts. And you understand their motives. And a comic book used to be like that. But now thought balloons are kind of passé. Like I said, I feel like they're trying to... They're more or less trying to scripted like a movie versus scripting it like a book.
Yeah, because then it would translate better into a movie.
Well,
But I would
you might
really
be right
like a
about that.
movie that would say, that would have, I'll punch this guy, and then like in a thought balloon it says I punch this guy, and then out loud he says I punch this guy, and then he punches that guy. Like that would be really funny, because then that does not that translates into a comic book, but does not translate well into a movie.
Yeah.
So that would be
Oh.
really great.
My gosh.
In
So
fact,
have you?
I'm writing that down.
Yeah. Have you seen?
I was gonna bring Jeff Goldblum to the table today, and we just
Oh, I'm
totally got
sorry.
off track on that. No, it's fine.
What have you seen the preview for the Minecraft movie?
Yes, and I hope it's good.
I'm put it this way. I have heard a lot of people making fun of it
And you know what?
in a bad way.
Yes.
Like,
And somebody brought up, can somebody like bully the studio like we did with Sonic? And I thought that was really
I feel that.
My brother
saw
pointed
that.
out, he's like, "Oh man, I love Jack Black in a blue shirt."
Right. Like, I'm Steve. No, you're
Yeah.
not. You're Jack Black.
No, you're
Well,
not.
like,
You're
we were
Jack Black in a blue shirt. And
My
but
kids were talking about, why didn't you just like at least cut his hair like a square?
or you just gave him the box, like you made his head
Yeah.
the box, and you pixelated it, and you made it that, and his already body's human. Like just make it silly. The whole trailer already looks silly. Like just make it even more. The only character that I give a pass to is Jason Momoa, because goddamn, he looks
The
hysterical.
hair?
Oh my
That
god,
hair.
I am so for him being in this movie. I'm like, he should have been Steve. I think that would have been better.
But see, what I don't understand is, yeah, that would have actually made more sense than having like Jack Black would be in the role of that Jason Momoa is, and Jason Momoa comes out.
Yeah,
I am
I'm
Steve.
Steve.
And okay, you're expected like, okay, this is Aquaman. This guy looks like a freaking Greek god. So you're like, okay, he's coming out. I am Steve, and it has presence, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to this fat guy with hair. I am Steve. It doesn't carry the same.
Right, exactly. See, I'm glad you're on the same page with me. Make
Yeah,
Jason
yeah.
Momoa Steve. Switch that
I
role.
and put him in a blue shirt.
Yes,
Put him
exactly.
in a blue
That is
shirt.
Jason Momoa in a blue shirt.
I mean, but no, I hope. What I don't understand is, why is everything furry? Like everything has this like furry texture to it. Yes, there's a sheep. Yes, there's a llama. But I swear, did you see the creeper coming up behind Jason Momoa?
Yeah, it was weird.
It looked furry, didn't it?
I don't understand why they just didn't do it like the Lego movie. Like just give it that same aesthetic. Not the same Lego, not the Lego aesthetic, but I just mean the Minecraft aesthetic.
Why didn't you just make a Minecraft movie in animation?
But that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying like you give it you didn't need to do this live action thing.
Right.
Like at all. Or in fact, because even like, what is it? The Telltale has a Minecraft.
The story mode.
Yeah, the story mode, and then you have like the legends. Like there's other different things that the
only problem with story mode is Patton Oswalt, is it? But yes, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know that. Apparently, also Kevin Hart has a Peacock thing called Heart to Heart. Kevin Hart, get it, Heart to Heart.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You get it.
Kind of like those stupid movies called Die Hard. I feel like if you have to name something after yourself that much, you might have a narcissistic problem. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, that's what vanity projects are. But anyway, I digress. But that's why I can't stand Rosario Dawson when she did that OC comic book.
That's you know who I don't like is Jason Segel for that kind of reason.
Oh, really? I mean, the Muppets was great, though.
Yes, but it was about him, wasn't it?
Well,
then did you ever watch Dispatches from Elsewhere?
No, but I did watch Dispatches from Outside the Box.
Oh, shut up. Dispatches from Elsewhere, which is based on an art kind of project that had happened before, and it all ends up about him. It comes off about it's him, and there was something else that was just it kind of comes off as being really about himself, and it's like, okay. The Dispatches from Elsewhere was very, very disappointing. But
I did try to watch Buckaroo
Bonsai. Did
Buckaroo
you get further
Banzai.
than I did?
Well, now I know where the cowboy, like Jeff Goldblum dressed as a cowboy, comes from.
Right. Yeah.
So because I
Yeah.
have seen that.
Well, he was actually in a
Alright.
Western before that, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, anyway, I know that costume. So anyway, I will tell you this: Tifa and I were watching it, and she got high, and I was sitting there going, "Man, this movie reminds me of Saints Row, the video game."
Oh yeah, you tell me that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really like this. And she's like, "You need to watch it when you're high because you're like, oh, this is awesome."
Remember, wherever you are, that's where you are, or something.
You know what's weird? Okay, so fun story about that line. Wherever you are, that's where you are.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever.
Whatever. It's around those lines.
So one of my buddy and I, Keith, who's African American, I was at a bar. We were at a bar having a drink with my other buddy.
I'm not quite sure why you had to distinguish that, but go ahead.
No, because I'm getting to a point.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's wherever you are, that's where you'll be. Is what it was. Is the line. So anyway,
Okay.
him and I are at the park but I'm gonna get to the point. This drunk guy came up to Keith and started saying, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I don't have a problem with your guys, and I think you're great. And I want to know, I think you'll be really successful, even though you are different from me. And I love you. And I just want to let you know is that wherever you are, that's where you'll be."
Oh my God.
And then he'll leave. And I'm not making this up. Like, this
It
really
does
happened.
sound like a drunk line.
Like, and that's the thing. And then it drove me. I was like, right when he said that line, I was like, that guy who was trying to be like not racist and didn't need to be because he didn't think about it said that to Keith. What the fuck?
What a fun way to say a normal thing, right?
Exactly. I'm like, what the fuck? But so I guess the moral of the story is that I need to get high in order to continue watching that movie.
I guess so. Look, I'll be honest with you. I have tried to watch Buckaroo Banzai, and I love John Lithgow. I think John Lithgow is one of the best actors of our time. I thought so before that stupid TV show he was on, which I felt ruined his career for. I think that TV show set his career back a few years. Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, okay.
I did not like the show. John Lithgow's talent was a fucking waste on that show. The man is too fucking brilliant to have been relegated to just that stupid show. Yeah, say Jared's with me. Hated Third Rock. It was stupid. Do you even know what it is?
No, I know what it is. I've never seen it. So.
I mean, so basically he's an idiot. He's just an idiot. And that's it. But I've seen the man beforehand. He's played some villains. He's played the nut job on Buckaroo Banzai. He's done this. He even played in a Robin Williams movie where he was a transgender female, a football player who transitioned into a woman. And this was back in the maybe 1980, 1970s, late 70s, maybe. And so my point being is you had that guy. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. But Buckaroo Banzai, and I like Christopher Lloyd, and I could tolerate Jeff Goldblum, and I do like Peter Weller. Now, if you want to know, there's two movies I got. Peter Weller has always done weird shit. That's RoboCop.
Yes.
Besides RoboCop, Peter Weller, check out Naked Lunch.
You know, I've heard of Naked Lunch, and I've never seen it, but I have heard of it.
Naked Lunch, I don't think you have to get high to watch it because it will make you feel like you are.
That's fair.
And there's another movie called Strange. Oh shit! Strange. No, not Strange Days. That was
Is it planned Strange Planet?
No. Strange Hours. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
It's even got the guy that plays Chucky in it.
Wait, is the Naked Lunch based on the film or the novel?
Naked Lunch was a film based on the William S. Burroughs book.
Oh, okay. That's what I was. Okay.
As much as you can base a movie on a William S. Burroughs novel.
Oh, it has Ian Holmes in it.
It does have Ian Holmes in it. It's a very weird movie.
Cool.
Well, you know the thing. Okay, do you know who William S. Burroughs is? It's okay if you don't. Okay, William S. Burroughs was during the Beatnik generation. He was a writer during the Beatnik generation. He ended up accidentally killing his wife doing the William Tell trick, where she put an apple on her head, and he fired the gun and hit her and not the apple.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he fled to I think he fled to Europe. Anyway, Naked Lunch is kind of interwoven. They were like stream of thought writers. So if you read Naked Lunch, there's not really there's little stories in it that have consistency, but it's not really a consistent story. It's not like Jack Kerouac or anything. It's a weird novel. I mean, I've read it a couple of times.
It's not streaming on anything either.
Naked Lunch, that's not surprising. It's kind of an old movie. In fact, I actually read the novel before I even knew the movie existed. So,
you know, I would say that you've never watched or never read the novel, but knowing you, I believe it. So, oh, wait a minute. Is this it? It's an older movie, right?
Yeah, I mean about 1980s, maybe early 90s.
I think it's on the Internet Archives.
Oh, that's a possibility. I mean, that would make sense.
Is there an alien in it?
The Mogwamp, but kinda. It's not really an alien per se.
Is it in color?
Yeah, it came out in 91.
Yep, this is it. It's in. Yeah. It's on the. It couldn't be that they didn't renew the license for it, but it's on the Internet Archives for free to watch.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, that Beatnik generation is an American history. It is a turning point in the 1950s, late 50s, early 60s civil rights movements and things like that. So that Beatnik generation is an essential part of American history. So it would make sense that William S. Burroughs, Jack Kerouac, and Alex Ginsberg, who I think is the Neil Gaiman of his time. That's not a compliment. Were well-known Beatnik poets. You know the Beatniks, you know?
Yeah, yes, I know
that. Yeah. Jack Kerouac did On the Road, which was him writing about On the Road. Basically, they were fucking drug explorers, right? So they explored some crazy drugs. So they wrote that. There is even a later on in their careers, they were doing this experiment where they would just cut words out of like magazines and books and stuff, and then piece together sentences, and that's how they would write a book.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, also too, stupid thing. Starship Troopers is actually public domain. I just found that out.
Robert Heinlein?
I don't remember who the author is.
Robert A. Heinlein?
It came out. I guess it became public domain in 2016. So,
which is weird because it shouldn't have been. When did that come? When did the story itself come out? It came out in 59.
Yeah,
so there must be a. Though that would make sense since Naked Lunch itself came out in 59 too.
Well, yeah, but the book did. But I'm talking about the movie is free to watch.
Oh, that's what you meant. Well, when you say public domain, I thought you meant like you could write Starship Troopers.
Well, yes, you can if you wanted to. I don't know why you would want to when it's already there. But what I mean is, okay, I guess I should I should say, is that the Internet Archives, upload stuff, and mostly it uploads, stuff that are public domain or just like internet history and stuff, but it also has old movies. And Naked Lunch is on there for some reason, and I can't find any reason as to why it's there. So I don't understand.
I guess because
it is. Yes, Helldivers is basically Starship Troopers game. Yes, it is. That's why there was a big comparison to it. So yeah, actually, now that does make sense, because I didn't realize that book was, or that franchise was, public domain.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Existence?
Existence? Okay. That came out about the same time as and I totally get what you're saying, Martha. It came out about the same time as The Matrix.
1999.
Yeah. Came out at the same time as The Matrix. And it has kind of the same premise. They're playing a video game, but they don't know if they're in reality or they're not.
Has William Dafoe in it.
It has Willem Dafoe. It has Jude Law.
Oh, Christopher Eccleston as well. I might really like that. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a oh my gosh, what's his name? Directed it. Corman? No.
David Cronenberg.
Okay, yeah.
Cronenberg. David
Cronenberg. Yes. Cronenberg, who is known for some weird fucking shit.
Yeah, something called like the Scanners and the
Scanners,
Fly.
The Fly. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of stuff that he's known for, right? So basically, they have this like, it's like an organic thing, right? That is a video game. And so you put your hands in it or whatever, and it takes you into. Anyway, if you get a chance to watch it, it wasn't like a big release like Matrix was. In fact, it might have been even straight to video at that point.
No, it was released in box office.
Huh? Was it?
Yeah.
It did not get the.
I wonder. The Matrix treatment.
It might have been a limited. It could have been a limited. Release,
Probably. I mean, it says it did 2.9 million in the United States, so it probably got a little.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, so it's a weird movie. I totally get what she means, because like you got talking cockroaches and everything, like big giant talking cockroaches, and like in Naked Lunch, the guy gets addicted to roach powder. So, which is kind of a metaphor for the heroin. But he ends up going through a whole bunch of weird stuff. But to address Jerry say, they thought about, he turned down Joker that went to Jack Nicholson, Peter Weller, who played RoboCop. It would have been interesting to see, although I think he'd be closer to a.
Wow.